Octavia Spencer, Blumhouse horror movie? Stay tuned to find out if it was good or was it bad. Real quickly, what is up, everybody? Hello. Hi, I am Zombie Chris, and if you're new around these parts, what we do on this channel is we cover everything from the world of cinema to short films to theme park stuff thrown in there, as well as sprinkle of some horror content here and there. So if any of that sounds really, really good to you, go ahead and click that like button, go ahead and click the subscribe button. But with that out of the way, who would have thought Octavia Spencer in a horror movie? With Ma, I heard the trailer, and of course it's hard to sort of not look at any of the clips and stuff that they've shown nowadays, especially on television, because it's like, you know, we gotta like advertise the shit out of this movie. And Octavia Spencer has been going around on a lot of like TV shows, doing interviews. So I kind of knew a little bit about this movie, but not to the extent. I knew it was Octavia Spencer. I knew it was a horror movie, Blumhouse. That's about all I knew. So without further ado, let's get to what is Ma about. Ma tells the story of a lonely woman befriends a group of teenagers and decides to let them party at her house. Never a good idea. Just when the kids think their luck couldn't get any better, things start happening and make them question the intention of their host. Let's get to what is good about Ma. Now, seeing Octavia Spencer in a horror role is truly unique, and I don't think we get this in day and age. We always get some sort of, Dennis Quaid has been in a bunch of movies like this, or Kevin Costner, or some of these other actors, but Octavia Spencer is one I wouldn't believe if you told me she was in a horror movie. I mean, maybe I would believe she was sort of the victim or like a mom character, but not the antagonist, not the villain, not the evil presence of the movie. So that was kind of refreshing seeing that. As well as this comes from Blumhouse, and what we know with Blumhouse, and especially a lot of horror movies today, is typically they hide everything behind a ghost character. You know, Insidious did it, Sinister did it, the Purge movies do it. Everyone has to have a mask or some sort of face paint or be a creature or a ghost of some sort. Octavia Spencer was just Octavia Spencer. She was just pure acting to be evil. And I thought that was refreshing as well. Something else I really enjoyed is the fact that they kind of humanize Octavia Spencer, and not because of what happens in the story, and I'm not going to spoil that part of it, but they humanize her because I can feel what she was feeling. I feel lonely, you know, right now. I feel like I don't really have that core group of friends like I did at one time. Previously, I just sort of feel like, especially now living in Jacksonville, and most of my smaller group of friends live in Orlando, I just feel like I'm here alone. And if I happen to cross paths and come with a group of you know, people who seem like they're really cool and like-minded, and they're kind of showing me acceptance, I would fall for that easily. So I kind of understood where Ma's character sort of felt that acceptance of being accepted in society again, and not being sort of this creepy or this weird person who's shy and in the corner. They're sort of accepted, and I appreciate that part of the story. And now is where the other shoe drops. Let's get to what is bad about Ma. What's bad about Ma, in my opinion, is it's not scary. It's not really interesting. Such a shame, because you say Octavia Spencer, it's in a horror movie. She's evil. The commercials are pumping it up. They're making you think it's going to get crazy, especially maybe it has that slow build up and it gets crazy in the third act. But it doesn't quite get there for me. At least it stays monotone and monotone all throughout. Even when things get ramped up and you think, oh, this is the crazy part, Ma's gonna start killing people, It's just sort of basic in my opinion. Why not make this go even crazier? Why not make her, not to say crazy like Michael Myers appearing everywhere type of thing, but just make the kills more interesting. Make her be almost the next level of insane. It's a basic dumb teen slasher sort of thriller horror movie that doesn't really have anything interesting in it, other than maybe a few touches about mental illness, about loneliness, about depression. Stuff like that is thrown in there, not to the degree that I would love for it to have been. And when they start off this movie, and this is not a spoiler anyway, they started off with most of the teenagers that you're going to kind of be on this adventure with. I didn't really care for them either. I thought they were just bland, boring, not really that great acting characters. I couldn't wait for Ma to come on the screen. And that's kind of a shame, because you should sort of have some kind of care for these characters. They kind of pinpoint, two characters for you to really care about, and the rest are kind of just throwaways. But even the ones that you actually should care about, they're just so redundant, or just what you expect from horror movies, that they just come off just regular in this movie. Not interesting. They don't really have an interesting point to them. And to throw it back at Ma, there's some stuff with Ma's history that sort of pops up in the movie here and there. And like I said, no spoilers, but that stuff is there and then it's gone. It has no relation. There's nothing deeper there, or at least nothing deeper that they didn't explain. There's some past history stuff, which this is stuff you would figure out if you watched the trailer. There's nothing surprising in this movie. And even though the commercials are like, don't spoil Ma, there's nothing to really spoil. She doesn't want you to go upstairs for a particular reason, and it's not really that shocking when it comes into the movie. All in all, for this movie to be really creepy with these undertones, and it's not quite hitting on all those cylinders for me. It's just a basic run-of-the-mill thriller starring Octavia Spencer, and it could have been a whole lot better in my opinion. I just saw Escape Room just like before this review this morning, whenever I'm recording this, and I thoroughly enjoyed that movie from the start to the finish. It had me intrigued. It had me on the edge of my seat. I didn't know what was coming next. This movie, you're just sort of like, okay, oh wow, Ma's getting crazy. And that's really what sums up this movie. Supposed to be creepy and scary, but not really. That is it for my review on Ma. That is it. I wish it would have been better. I was so hyped up to see this movie. So it is that time again for YouTube shout out time. And if you don't know what this is, we typically announce a channel for you guys to show some support to, check out their stuff. All for the month of June. On the tail end of these videos, I am basically giving a shout out to a channel. On today, we are giving a shout out to Misfits Unmanaged. If you enjoy horror, and if you enjoy Halloween Horror Nights, haunted house stuff, definitely check them out. They're going to be all over Florida covering all the haunted events that take place. So they're going to give you some firsthand reviews, some information, all that stuff that you're going to be finding very interesting. So definitely check them out. Link will be down in the description box below. And I'll talk a little bit about spoilers right here if you haven't seen the movie and you don't want to know the spoilers real quick. So thank you guys for the support. Thank you guys for the likes. Continue to support the channel. Thank you guys. Make sure to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Now we're going to talk about spoilers real quick. So they don't want you to go upstairs to see that Ma has a daughter. Ooh, that's so shocking. I kind of figured that already. When they showcased this character earlier in the movie, it was like, oh, she's going to come back around and be connected to Ma in some sort of way. Not really surprising. They mention about her being married at one time. They don't follow up on that. I wanted to know if there was something crazy there. Maybe he beat her. Maybe he did something psychological to her, and that's what kind of made her this way. or maybe she killed him, but there's no mention of that later in the movie. It's just, eh. And then there's the point of like this whole prank thing that came about beforehand, and that's what causes her to sort of spin to get this revenge on the kids. We've seen this done before in other movies. The one big one that comes to mind is Valentine's, which sticks out to me about a prank when they're kids and then they're seeking revenge when they're older. That's done a whole lot better in my opinion. This one, it's like the prank comes and it goes and I can care less. Some of the kills are just kind of bland in my opinion. She does some weird stuff like painting the black character's face white, but I'm guessing there's some sort of racial tone there. She stabs some people. She sews some mouth shuts. It sounds a lot more interesting than what it was in the movie. That is it, I think, for spoilers. I can't think of anything else as far as the spoilers. So if you saw the movie Ma, what did you think? Leave it down in the comment section. Of course, leave no spoilers in there or else I will delete it. So that is it for the review. Thank you guys for watching, and until next time, peace out.